What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is the Blacklist Redemption, Season 1, Episode 2, Kevin Jensen. So, this one was not bad. It was definitely better than the first one just because it feels like an actual. This is the episode. This is the one that starts it. This is what probably every episode is going to look something like. So, it felt a lot more focused just as far as what it was trying to do and all that. But I will say they tried to go for a much more emotional episode. And the only reason it didn't work is because this is the second episode. It's apparently Scotty knows this woman. They've been best friends forever, and her son ends up getting taken in this other country, captured because they think he's a spy by the CIA sent over when he says he's just a journalist. And so, this guy's mom comes to Scotty and says, "I need you to go get him." The U.S. government's like, "No, we support this guy that's taking him in, so we don't want to upset that friendship with him." So he says, "Stand down," and of course Sky's just like, no, we're gonna go get him. And see, that's kind of part of the problem. I understand what they're going for here. I understand that they're going for, this is very emotional for Scotty. She's trying to figure out what to do now, trying to make decisions with this task force, and trying to pretty much become something more than just, Howard's wife. And so I get what they're going for with her emotions, but I don't really connect to it. It didn't really hit me as hard as it should have if I'd gotten to know her and the team a bit more. Then I would be like, ooh, what's she gonna do now? This is somebody she knows. Does she let the team go after him just because she knows him? What's her decision gonna be? I don't really know her that well, so I can't really say, oh, this is definitely something Scotty should do, or this is completely against her character and she's having to make this decision now because somebody she knows is in trouble. So I feel like they played this card way too soon. I feel like they should have waited a little bit and then gone into this episode so that way we would get to know Scotty and the team a little bit more and just what the team would normally say in this situation. So that would be my only complaint about it. The rest of it was pretty good. The action's pretty intense, just the gunfights and all of that stuff. The editing is a little bit weird. It's gonna take some getting used to because there are moments where you see like they're doing kind of the split screen thing where you're seeing one screen has like Tom shooting and then the other one showing the guy getting hit, and I don't know, it's kind of weird getting adjusted to it because it's completely different there, but I do think it's definitely unique. It's something that is starting to separate it from the Blacklist, and I want them to do more of that. I want them to start to separate themselves and say, okay, we're a different type of show. We're not the same thing as the Blacklist. So that was nice, but the rest of it was fairly normal, just a typical episode for a show like this where it's a heist show and kind of mixed in with a task force type show. There was some weird jokes. But when I say that, I mean like jokes that you wouldn't expect to see in a show as serious as this one. Like Scotty knows this guy who can get them weapons, and so Tom goes to see him, and he wants his daughter to become a pop sensation. And so Tom has to sit and listen to her sing Britney Spears. That was weird. That was very weird. So the humor was a little bit off there, but the rest of the humor is pretty funny. Some of them are trying to be funny, and you can see that. So hopefully they get into a bit more of a rhythm. I think his name is Dumont, the guy behind the computer. It's still growing on me. I'm still not entirely sure if I hate him or if I think he's okay. But there's one scene that kind of stuck out to me as far as like that was definitely not natural. The rest of the team is in the police car and they're going to this prison where Kevin's being held. And so they're driving there in the police car and they have to catch up with the rest of the police cars that are on their way to go to this prison. And so he's like, okay, the convoy's right there. Turn right now! And I'm like, dude, whoa. I don't know, it was just so, aggressive out of nowhere. Like, alright, the convoy's coming, turn right now, sweet cheeks! I'm like, whoa, okay. That was strange. That was a weird delivery. And the thing is, it wasn't like she was running behind, and it's like, oh crap, we're not gonna make it, we're not gonna make it. It's like there was no intensity in this scene, and then all of a sudden he gets really intense for a moment, and all of a sudden we just see their cars, they slowly turn in behind the convoy, and I'm just like, well, that was strange. So that was a weird scene. But onto the actual like story, the main plot itself, because that's where I think the most interesting thing happened. So they get to Kevin Jensen and they go to this prison. They get him out of there, but then he's like, "I need to go get some information that I was taken in." And so at that point, you kind of wonder, okay, is he really a journalist? Because why would you care that much about the story, to the point where you might die? But as soon as he said that, I'm like, so let me guess, he's probably going to escape, right? Because there was way too much time left in the episode for it to end without a problem. So I'm like, so he's probably going to go back for it as soon as they turn their backs. Sure enough, he does. They get there, they go to help him out, and then they get him out of there. They're driving, police are after them. They get to the American embassy, and then they crash into a roadblock in front of the embassy. And so now they have to carry him there. They get him in. He's been shot, and I'm just like, okay, so now here's where everything works out okay, and they, it's very intense, but they make it. Kevin Jensen dies, and I think it actually kind of worked for this episode because I was expecting it to be like, oh no, he creates problems, but they make it out okay. This show's not everything works out okay. He wanted to get this story. We find out later he's a CIA operative. He wanted to get that information, and he died getting it. That caused him to die. I'm just like, that's how things kind of work in real life. You make mistakes, and bad things happen because of it. In this case, he actually died. So it was actually kind of taking a bit more of a chance there, beyond just saying, oh, he goes and gets the information and that's it, da da da, we're good. He comes home to his family, emotional reunion. No, it was, he died. He made a judgment call, and he died because of it. And that's real life. It's realistic, and I don't mind that. I like the fact that they're not just going to be like, oh, we always get a happy ending every single episode. It always works out okay for everybody. Sometimes things don't go right. So I hope they continue that. Obviously, I don't want every single episode to end on a sad note. That would not be good. And it kind of lends weight to my thought that this shouldn't have been the second episode, because if it had been like the fourth or fifth, when the first like 3 or 4 were like, oh, things work out okay every time, and then all of a sudden this one comes in, and we see emotional Scotty, and we haven't seen that before, and then on top of that, Kevin Jensen dies at the end of it, we haven't seen that before, that would have made this episode so much more impactful. But because it's the second one, I'm like, oh yeah, some of this is pretty good. The emotional stuff with Scotty is good. The fact that he doesn't make it out is good. That's good stuff. It doesn't really impact me as much. It doesn't make me go, holy crap, that was good. That was really, really good. And I think that's the only real problem that I have, is that this should have been a later episode. This should have been an episode that comes 5 or 6 episodes in at least, so that way we have time to get accustomed to the team does this, they succeed. The team does this, they succeed. The team does this, they succeed. Oh, they don't have the backing of the American government anymore? What's Scotty going to do now? Oh, holy crap, Kevin Jensen's shot. Is he going to get out okay? No, he doesn't. Holy crap, this episode's different. As far as I don't know if this is going to be every episode or if this is just one out of a few that things don't work out okay. So, yeah, all in all, though, it's still a good episode. The characters overall are okay. Obviously, Tom, Solomon, and Scotty are the 3 that are the most interesting, of course, mainly because they've had backstory in the Blacklist. But Dumont behind the computer, I don't know, he's kind of strange. The woman, I can't remember her name now, the woman that goes out into the field with Tom and Solomon, I don't know what her name is right now, but she's fairly interesting. It's almost like she's just another operative, though, and like I said in the first review, I think they need to give her some sort of specialty, so that way we can really start to see, okay, so this is why she's out in the field. It's not just because, oh, Tom and Solomon need help. No, she provides this. She gives them this for something. And in this one, she did have a moment, it was kind of badass, where Dumont's trying to hack into the little keypad to open up the door, and she takes out a hook, straps it onto the back of the police car, hooks it onto the door. It's like, here's your number 6, and drives the car forward and rips the door off its hinges. So that was pretty cool, but all in all, she's still kind of a character, like not one that has made much of an impact. So I think they need to give her a bit more of an identity on the team beyond just, oh, she's the third operative with Tom and Solomon. So we'll see where that's going, but I mean, all in all, still a good show so far. It's not great by any means. It's not nearly reaching the Blacklist. As like the Blacklist caught my attention right away. I'm just like, okay, this is an interesting concept. I want to see what they would do with this. This one, it's more building off of these characters that were introduced and explained in the Blacklist. That's where my interest is right now. So they need to start bringing some more into it, so that way it's more of an identifiable show, aside from just, oh, this is the Blacklist cousin that just, it's okay, but it's not the Blacklist. So we'll see where that's going, but I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do next. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know, we can talk about it and discuss all the good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe to feature more future Blacklist Redemption reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.